نبيا ولا محروما يا رب العالمين. Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today's talk, inshallah, in the coming 19 minutes, because I have finished 1 minute so far. In the coming 20 minutes, inshallah, I'll be talking with something under the title of Mind Your Words, because your words or our words make our lives. انتبه لكلماتك فإن كلماتنا تصنع حياتنا. So I will start with quoting a story, small story. Then I will highlight the concepts. Then I will talk about the applications in our daily life. This story first. Now, it is said that there were two women sitting on the same bench in a public park somewhere in the West. And each woman has her son with her. So it happened that a homeless guy passed by them and he was begging the people for some food or some money. So the two mothers with their two kids in the same time, each of them, they reacted towards the fact that there is a homeless in front of them who was begging the people, and he was in a miserable, situation. The first one said, I quote, "Study well, my son, so that not to be like him." Study well, so that not to be like him. The other mother on the same bench in the same time, talking about the same person, she said to her son, "Study well, my dear son, so that to be able to help people like him." Look now, let's go back one step. Two mothers with two kids, same bench, same place, same context, same circumstances, the same event, same person. The reaction was completely different. Study well, so that not to be like him. The other one, study well, to be able to help people like him. So the first mother, in my understanding, she was creating a monster by her words. She was planting the seeds of arrogance inside the son. She was educating him. She was bringing him up to be someone with arrogance, someone who is full of selfishness. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. While the other woman, she was planting the seeds to create someone with an attitude of mercy, to bring someone who's completely merciful, who's kind, who's nice, who loves the others, and who thinks about the others. So our talk is mind your words. Our words make our lives. So study well so that to be like him, study well to be able to help people like him. This is the story. Now, why I decided to talk about this. Actually, I made many Friday sermons, many Friday khutbas about this talk. The reason that generally we have an attitude, especially with the youth, that, we are just talking, you are just joking. In Arabic we say, "Ya Sheikh, الحكي هو عليه جمرك. Ya Sheikh, احنا ما تحسبونا عن نقرة." Oh, come on, don't exaggerate. We are just joking, we are just talking. There's an attitude generally in the Arab world, in many Islam worlds, that we don't pay attention to the value or the importance or the danger of the word. Let me give you now the evidences, the adilla, the dalil about how important this topic is and how dangerous this point is. Now, the very famous hadith of Mu'adh radiallahu anhu when he was with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Mu'adh is a Sahabi, a young Sahabi, asked Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in a certain hadith, in a certain context. He said, "Ya Rasulullah, awa nahnu mu'akhaduna bima natakallamu bihi ya Rasulullah." In a certain context, this Sahabi, to the best of his knowledge, he reacted in a natural way because he was under the impression, like most of the people, even us today, that the accountability, the muhasaba, is just for your actions, your deeds, not necessarily your words or what you talk. So that Sahabi at the beginning, before he was educated by Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was under the impression that this is the case. The accountability is just for what I do, not what I say or what I think. So out of his surprise, he said, Ya Rasulullah, wa nahnu mu'akhaduna bima natakallam bihi. Are we gonna be held accountable, Ya Rasulullah, for what we say? Then the reply of Prophet Muhammad was, ثكلتك أمك يا معاذ وهل يكب الناس في النار على مناخرهم إلا حصائد ألسنتهم. He said, wow to you, or wow unto you, Ya Mu'adh. Wow, what are you saying? How dare you? Wow to you, Ya Mu'adh. Do you think there is anything else than the fruits of our tongues that will throw us or throw the people into the bottom of the hellfire? Well, do you think that anything else, which means the most of the people, they will be thrown on their faces in the hellfire because of their tongues and what they say, what they talk, and the fruits of their tongues. قال ثكلتك أمك يا معاذ وهل يكب الناس في النار على وجوههم أو على مناخرهم, on their noses or on their faces, which means they will be completely, not just thrown into the hellfire, but they will be completely humiliated by what has come out of their mouths. This is the first evidence in this hadith. Now, another amazing context about the importance of the word. The very famous ayah where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam by saying, فبما رحمة من الله لنت له ولو كنت فظا غليظ القلب لانفضوا من حولك. It's just by the mercy of Allah you became lenient, soft with them. قال ولو كنت, and if you were, look, فظا غليظ القلب, tough, hard-hearted. Your heart is hard and tough. Let's stop with the word tough. لو كنت فظا, you are tough, difficult. When I'm tough, actually, I will not be tough, but by my actions and part of my action, basically, how I deal with the people, how I talk, the language that I use, the words that I use. ولو كنت فظا غليظ القلب لانفضوا من حولك. They would have completely abandoned you, left you without even having a second thought, looking behind them, looking at you. Look, the one who's saying this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran. The one who is addressed by this is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Who is Prophet Muhammad in our faith? He is the best of the creation according to Muslims. The best of everything in the creation, according to Islamic faith, is Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, who's the Sahaba, the companions? The best company with the best prophet ever in the history of the mankind in our faith. أعظم مجموعة صحبت نبيا في تاريخ الأمم عند البشر في عقيدتنا. The best group, the best companions of a prophet that have ever became companions for a prophet. Yet, Allah is telling the best of the creation that the best group of companions, whoever happened to a prophet, would have left you completely without looking back to you, not even having a second thought, if you were tough with them. Part of being tough is your language and the way how you talk and the terms and the words that you choose when you speak with the people. Now, I will give another evidences. So for those who have just joined us now, the title of my talk basically is Mind Your Words. Be careful of your words, because our words make our lives and other people's lives as well. We do affect amazingly on them. So after the hadith of wow to you ya Mu'adh, ثكلتك أمك يا معاذ, and after the Quranic verse ولو كنت فظا غليظ القول ولو كنت فظا غليظ القلب, this is the evidences of the importance of how dangerous the word could be. Now, let's move to another amazing things in Islam to show how important and how dangerous the word could be. Now, in Islam, you know that a person Hello? Someone is... Hello? Shall I continue? There is a noise.
Sheikh Amjad, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Okay. Sorry. Something interrupted me. Okay. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. What I was saying. Okay. Now, another evidence. Now, you know, in Islam, the person becomes a Muslim by the word of the Shahada, Kalimat al-Shahada. And one of the nice, interesting usage for the Shahada, what our brothers and sisters in the subcontinent, the Muslims in India and in Pakistan, they say he said the kalima. They call the Shahadatain al-Kalima. They call it a kalima. They said, MashaAllah, he declared the kalima. I said, brother, what do you mean by kalima? He said the Shahadatain. They call it the kalima. Kalimat la ilaha illallah. Because the word kalima is used for like a phrase or a statement. So subhanallah, now by saying ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, which is what, just words, I became from the status of being a non-believer to a believer. Everything will be deleted. All of my sins will be deleted by a word. I will be from a complete miserable status to a complete cleansed newborn Muslim. And if I passed away few minutes later, I'm completely cleansed, clean, completely direct to the Jannah by a word, which is ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. I believe and I say word. Type. Now on the other, let's say side or the other part or other side of the equation, by a word, I became a kafir. I leave Islam. Wal-'iyadhu billah. Have you heard about the concept of committing blasphemy? Committing blasphemy is the classical English for the Arab meaning of التجديف على الله بمعنى شتم الذات الإلهية أو والعياذ بالله احتقار الله أو شتمه. It's like when we say like swearing at God. Like unfortunately, like we have some Arab countries such as Jordan, Palestine, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq. You know, it's widely common there between the youth in the streets. When someone becomes angry, they commit blasphemy. They say kada kada, and they say Rabbak, Dinak, whatever. This is called tajdif ala Allah, and this is actually in Islamic Aqidah and Islamic Fiqh, this is an act of committing a kufr by a word. Kada kada, Rabb. Kada kada, Deen. Such and such, your Lord. By saying a word, I become a kafir. And by saying a word, I become a Muslim. So I'm confirming now, I'm bringing the evidences how dangerous a word could be and how sensitive the word is basically in Islam. So, ثكلتك أمك يا معاذ ولو كنت فظا غليظ القلب. By أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله, which is a word, I become a Muslim. By وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, God forbid, committing any kind of blasphemy, I leave Islam. Let's confirm this more and more. Now, by a word, I become a husband. By a word, she becomes a wife. You know the concept of the marriage contract? We have what we call al-ijab wal-qabul. We have the guardian, al-wali. We have the bride and the groom, al-aris wal-arus. Now, in Islam, if there's two witnesses, if there's the bride and the groom, and two witnesses, and the wali or the guardian is there, and he said, and he, you know, he offered, he said, I want to marry you, and she said, accepted. Or if the wali said, زوجتك ابنتي, I accept to let you be the husband of my wife on such and such condition, and he said, I accept, ijab wa qabul, in a word, by saying, I accept, this man and woman becomes a husband and a wife. What used to be considered fornication or adultery or zina just a few minutes ago becomes by a word halal, and both of them, they have ajr, and they become husband and a wife by a word. Just زوجتك, تزوجت, قبلت, قبلتي, it's a word. So it's not, let's go back to the concept of Mu'adh. قال أَوَنَحْنُ مُؤَاخَذُونَ بِمَا نَتَكَلَّمُ بِهِ. Are we gonna be held accountable, Ya Rasulullah. Look at the time of the Sahaba. Said, ثكلتك أمك يا معاذ. Well, up to you, Ya Muhammad. What are you saying? طبعا, definitely you will be held accountable. Do you think of anything else that will take the people? So it's a big. Now, why I'm saying this? Still, I will keep bringing evidences to show you how dangerous this is. Now, because many Muslims, for many reasons, they don't care with what they say in their life. I will be focusing, after finishing the evidences, on how should husband and wife be dealing with each other, the parents, mothers and fathers with their kids, what kind of words we are using with them, the colleagues, the people on the streets. Now, we need to go back to our Islam, to our Iman, to our faith, to the beautiful guidance. And by the way, I think this is the glad, maybe, I don't know if it's good to say it's a glad tiding or the good news. Okay, we are in a pandemic now. We are facing a crisis on a global level. Yet, when you focus in it, there is amazing khair that Allah has shown us. It's not because we are great people or good people or nice people. It's because Allah decided to do so. Many Islamic teachings, many people, they used to make fun of them or look with an eye of looking down to them, like, for example, cleansing or doing the wudu or at-tahara or not having this kind of bad relations. Look now what happens now. There's simple things, wearing the niqab or, covering the face, not touching, not kissing, not hugging, strangers. Now we can say that the people of earth, they are applying Islamic teachings, whether they loved or not. This funny joke about the toilet paper. Now, most of the people, they start making jokes talking about the only solution for the Westerners, just to use the water like the Muslims. I just a few hours ago was watching like a small video in a Russian language with this translation, talking that the best way really to avoid any kind of harms and microbes and viruses when you try not to use the toilet paper or even the wet toilet paper, but the best way is the way that Muslims are using, which is using the water. La ilaha illallah. So sometimes, which is simple things, many people, maybe we looked at it as just a fiqh thing, which means, okay, it's just a commandment by the Prophet, regardless of its benefits. No. In Islam, even the simple things, it has a wisdom behind it. So what about the very important thing? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, and His Prophet tells us on behalf of His Lord, that be aware of what you talk. So how come I just simply ignore this advice in my life, whether in a level of faith, which is like committing blasphemy, or in a level of hurting, basically. What is gossip and what is backbiting? Al-ghiba wal-namima. It's what exactly? It's a word. Okay? سمعت فلان 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 words. Okay, this could lead to what? The very, very famous hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was riding his mule. He was passing by two graves for Muslims. So the mule was about to, to throw him from the back. He said, إنهما يعذبان. The people, what we call about the punishment of the grave, عذاب القبر. قال إنهما يعذبان وما يعذبان في كبير. Both of them, they are facing a punishment, the punishment of the grave. And وما يعذبان في كبير. And they are not punished for something that is seen big in the sight of the people. قال أما أحدهما فكان لا يستنزه من بوله. One of them, he was not taking care at all to avoid himself not to be touched by the najasa of the urine when he urinates, when he goes to the toilet. Simply he does not care what comes to his clothes without any kind of cleansing or cleaning. The other one قال وأما الآخر فكان يمشي بين الناس بالنميمة. As for the other one, he was, doing the gossip and the backbiting. Just, have you heard such and such? Wallah, the very famous statement in the Arab world, بحطش بزمتي, بحطش بزمتي. والله أنا والله أدي سهيد بحطش بزمتي. But I hear them saying tap 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 tap, and we say everything about the honor of the people, their privacy. Sometimes we destroy families, which we say, إنما كنا نخوض ونلعب. No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was attacking those people who were just saying we have done nothing. We are just word. And Mu'adh said, وَنَحْنُ مُؤَاخَذُونَ بِمَا نَتَكَلَّمُ بِهِ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ. And the other hadith from Bukhari, which I will finish the evidences and quotations, then I will give the examples, and I will stop, inshallah. Now, hadith al-Bukhari. It's an amazing hadith. إن الرجل ليتكلم بالكلمة من رضوان الله لا يلقي لها بالا يرفعه الله بها درجات وإن العبد ليتكلم بالكلمة من سخط الله لا يلقي لها بالا تهوي به في جهنم. This is the exact wording of Al-Bukhari. Imam Bukhari narrated that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the man could be talking or saying a word, out of the satisfaction and the happiness of Allah, which means Allah is satisfied from him. Allah has approved and is satisfied out of what he is saying. Even though he was not paying a lot of attention for it, it's not just a big deal, just in an easy go. By this word, because it's a good word, has done something good, even though for him it's as if it's nothing. يرفعه الله بها درجات. By this word, Allah will uplift him levels in terms of his ajr and his status, to be from the people that Allah gives a special status. قال وإن العبد, and the other part of the people, and the servant of Allah could be saying a word min sakhat Allah, out of the extreme anger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which Allah completely is angry because of this word. قال لا يلقي لها بالا. The same thing, he does not pay attention, just I don't care, I did not mean it, just I'm just joking or whatever. قال لا يلقي لها بالا. He does not pay any attention for it. يهوي بها في جهنم. He will be thrown into the hellfire, which means this word could be the reason to throw him into the hellfire, which confirms the meaning of the hadith of Mu'adh radiyallahu anhu. أثكلتك أمك يا معاذ وهل يكب الناس في النار. Woe to you, O Mu'adh. Do you think there's anything else that will be throwing the people into the hellfire on their faces more than the fruits of their tongues? Now, this is the story, the idea, the concept, the evidences. Now the application. Let's come to conclude and to finish, inshallah, bi'idhnillah. The conclusion, the application of our daily life. The most important thing that I would love to share with you and to remind myself as a father. I'm a father of 5. I have 4 daughters. I have 5 kids, 4 daughters and 1 son. So when I think about us as parents, especially, and I assume the majority of those who are listening to me now are Arabs, I assume. We in Arab culture, easily, we use a lot of bad words with our kids. Either while we are joking or what we think is something normal. Many of Arab cultures, easily, we use the names of animals if we are angry from our kids. وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ. Ya kada, ya kada. We use the word donkey and animal and cow or something. Sometimes we resemble them. نعمل تشبيه ولك شكلك زي كذا ولك يا كذا. والعياذ بالله. Ya stupid, you idiot, ya حمار, ya والعياذ بالله بعيد عنكو. Ya kada. Sometimes we use the word shoes, hida, but in the slang languages, I'm angry, he made me angry. Wait, this is haram in Islam. But ya Sheikh, I became angry. Okay, if you decide to become a father, Allah will put you accountable. And to the mothers, because they became more angry at home because they are in a daily contact with their kids more. May Allah help you, but be careful. We have no right to use these words. Let's go to the psychiatrists and the people of psychology. Ask them, when I as a father, when I as a mother, keep telling my son or my daughter since young age, whenever I'm angry, I'm calling him, oh, you animal, or dog, or ya hayawan, or whatever. These very tough words. What is the end result psychologically on my son or my daughter when I'm angry? Even if I said it just once a week, he reached the age of 10, and I have said it to him at least maybe 10,000 times in my life. How he looks to himself. He will be facing the, what we call it in English, inferiority complex, عقدة النقص. He will be looking down at himself. This could lead him to a lot of psychological disorders. This could be leading her to hate you and to hate her mother and to hate the religion and to hate maybe Allah himself. Why Allah has done this for me? So you have to be careful. How many times we have this is on the level of parents and their kids. We have to count to 10 what kind of words I'm using with them. Ya Allah, I have to control myself. But he is provoking me, even though I need to hug him, speak with him in a very good way. But okay, I can't control myself. You can, I can. Wallahi, we can. I will give you an example and a proof that I can and you can. In our daily life, let's talk about sales. If we are employers, for example, we are working in companies. We are teachers in schools. We are professors in universities. We are working in big companies, big corporates, whatever. How many times we have seniors, we have head of departments, we have the CEO, in which that we don't like him or her. Actually, we might be hate. We have hatred even, because he's very tough and very bad. Yet, we smile in their faces. For many reasons. Many reasons. Why? بقول لك بدي أعيش يا شيخ أنا الراتب بدي أعيش. Okay, I hate him but بدي أعيش. What does this mean? This means, okay, I might hate the principal of my school or the director in my company or the manager or the head of the department. I hate him, but I speak nice with him. When I'm asked, how come you hate and you speak nice? You say, يا شيخ من مصلحة. What is? There's something much more important, which is I need to maintain my salary and I want to live. I want to take care of my family. Good. Do we do this in many levels of our lives? Sometimes with our friends. Sometimes, especially, the youth, boys and girls, الشلة or the group, the close group. Sometimes maybe I like 3 of them and I don't like 2 of them. يعني زي ما بنقول بعرفش شو بدي احكيها بالانجليزي لما يكون سمج ودمه ثقيل يعني. سمج هكذا تترجم I don't know. ثقيل دم. Sometimes one of my close friends could be having something really very tough attitude, but I'm not able to fight with him because I might lose the group and I can't have their support if I'm in trouble, and I can't enjoy my time because all of them respect him, for example. So I calculate it. I control myself. Even though I don't like him, yet I keep controlling myself. Why I do these things with colleagues, with the manager, with the director, with whatever. Why with all of these people I can't control myself, even though they provoked me and I might not like them and maybe I hate them, yet I control. Why I do not do this with my kids? Why I do not do this with my wife? Why I do not this with my husband? The same thing. Many problems between husband and wife. Look at them. It's the way how she talks. It's the words that he uses. Okay? Change. So our talk is mind your words. Be careful with your words, because your words, our words, make our life. We can re-engineer. We can reinvent, we can redesign our lives when we change the words that we use. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help me and all of you, inshallah, to be, inshallah, good, true, excellent believers and good submitters, true Muslims who have submitted themselves to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala truly, and to be Muslims in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Exactly 29 minutes. I'm sorry. Jazakumullah khair. I finished.
Jazakumullah khair, Dr. Qourshah. We do have a question right now that we're going to segue into the Q&A. We have a question by Hamid.
Yes, brother.
Jazakallah, brother Amjad. Just to elaborate on your lecture, inshallah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "He who believes in Allah and last day, let him speak good or remain silent." Is it just to elevate our good manners? Yani
stop. Sorry, I lost the last word. You said من كان يؤمن بالله ولا فليقل خيرا أو ليصمت. What's next?
No. Is just to elevate our good manner, يعني يرفع الآداب بتاعتنا ولا إيش؟
Yes, I mean it's part the one who believes in Allah and the day of judgment. Let him say خير or ليصمت. This is an ethical guidance in the big wide spectrum of Islamic guidance. It's to tell you that if you don't have something good to say, the solution in Islam, don't speak. It's like a guidance. It's not me. It does not mean it's haram to talk, which means count to 10 and try to make like a filter. Is there a khair in what I'm saying? Is there a khair in my joke? Is there a goodness in what I'm acting, do something? If it's good, say it. If there is nothing of khair, why should I say it? Are you with me? It's like a general ethical guidance to make sure to be in the right, in the right side of the importance of your words.
خير.
Any question?
أنا عندي سؤال يا شيخ دكتور أمجد.
تفضل.
الكالتشر هون الثقافي بأمريكا بالأخص الشباب أو الأفلام والهاي كلمة الإف هاي كأنها يعني مثل شرب المي والتنفس.
يا الله.
فكيف بده الواحد يخلص من الشغلة هاي والموجودة بالثقافة العامة ويعني وإذا ما حكى الواحد هيك يصفي out of the groove ما بقولوا أو برات
والله يا أخي.
Okay. Dr. Amjad, if you don't mind, repeat that in English for the audience, and then you can answer it, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair.
Okay. The question basically, the brother is asking me, what can I do as a Muslim who's living in a country in the West where, unfortunately, the culture of the F words is widely spread to a degree that if someone who, while in his talk, if he does not use this word, he will be viewed as out of out of the context, or he's not up to the limit or whatever. Let me be frank with you, brothers. What distinguishes the believer and the Muslim believer basically is his character. His character basically is what he says and what he does. This is what is Islam. Islam is basically something we believe, something we say, and something we act upon. If we know that this word is haram, basically it's haram, I think there is no Muslim aqil, there is no mature Muslim who can give a fatwa that using this word is allowed in Islam. Now, this is the culture. Who said that I should be part of the culture? I mean, if I should not allow myself, I must be an influencer, okay? Now, if I'm not able to be an influencer, not to let them say it, at least the bottom line in Islam, I should not I myself say it. This should be a decision as a red light for me. يعني, let's make analogy, قياس. For example, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he said, إذا رأى أحدكم منكرا فليغيره بيده, which means if someone said something of evil, okay, and you have the authority, you have the power to change it, use your power to change it. قال فإن لم يستطع, if he can't, he does not have an authority, does not have any kind of power, let him change it by his tongue, which means talk, say something, write, okay, and spread. قال فإن لم يستطع فبقلبه وذلك أضعف الإيمان. Now, if he could not, let him deny, let him reject this evil or bad thing by his heart. Now he continues, قال وليس بعد ذلك حبة خردل من إيمان. If he did not even was able to match this level, which means the rejection in his heart, this means this is an indication there is not even a simple single amount of iman in his heart. Imagine if this is the levels. Bad things should be removed, if not at least by my tongue, if not by my heart. So what if, because if the influence is so big, I decided to join them, it will be a crime definitely. So what shall I do? First of all, I need to convince myself that this is a crime. This is an ethical crime. I should not. But whatever, I don't care with the reaction. I don't care. They should be influenced with me. And I'm supposed to be a da'iyah in this. First step, no way I share this word. Right. Next step, actually, to be honest with you, if I were you, I must do my best to be a reason for them to change wherever I can. At least relatives, at least those whom I have some kind of good relations with them. But just leave it and to be part of the culture, it's unacceptable in Islam. Wallahu a'lam in a brief.
Jazakallah khair. Anyone else, if they have a question, please go ahead and submit it, or raise your hand first if you don't mind, so we can mind the sequence. Jazakallah khair. Okay, there is a chat question. When you go back to work, inshallah, we can say to our non-Muslim friends with authority, we told you about cleanliness and wudu. I'm not sure if this is a statement or this is a question, but you can read it in the chat, inshallah, and if you want to respond to it. Jazakumullah khair.
And I'm not able to say it. How can I go to it? How can I go to the question? So
when you click on your screen, you hover over it, you see a little bubble in a blue circle. You click on it, it will open the chat in the pane on the right hand side. Anyway, let me read it back.
Okay. What's the name of the one who sent it?
Abdul Basit Awawde. To everyone, he said, when we go back to work, inshallah, we can say to our non-Muslim friends with authority, we told you so about cleanliness and wudu. I'm not sure if it's a statement or a question, but you can respond to it, inshallah.
If it's a statement, I agree with you. If it's a question, yes, please do it, but in a clever way. In a very clever, wise way. Be careful. I mean, let's do it in a way just to pay their attention how let's say the level of the level of love that we hold towards humanity, to a degree that we feel very happy that what we have is very beneficial for others. Don't let them feel that, okay, have you seen? Yalla, shuftu ba? You don't know. This attitude could be, causing something very horrible in their hearts. But be wise. الحكمة ومن أوتي الحكمة فقد أوتي خيرا كثيرا. The one who was given the wisdom, he was given the great khair and goodness, inshallah. Whether it's a question or a statement, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
Jazakumullah khair. Okay, if anyone else has a question or a comment, go ahead now, please.
I have a question, please.
Yeah, go ahead, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair. How about when you're teaching your kids, subhanallah, the right way, or try not to cuss in front of them, and then adults do it to you, or they see it at a masjid or somewhere where it's mostly Muslims? Like, what are you supposed to tell your child when they're present, when there's adults talking bad to each other?
First of all, I need to keep insisting, sisters. I mean, the most important thing. Let's go to steps, step by step. Step number one. Since their childhood, they need to know what is right and what's wrong. That we have bad words, good words. This should be clear. I mean, they should be having the criterion already. I mean, it's not, there should be no concept of, wallahi, everyone is free to say. No. We have good words, bad words from the very beginning. If this was established, now this is the development. Whenever he develops, be careful, Baba Habibi, Mama Habibti, don't say this word. This is not a good word. This is not because sometimes in the KG, sometimes in the street, they keep receiving. Now, so basically, if I should be someone who has already established a contact with my kids in terms of I am one of the sources of telling you about the values of things which is good or bad. This should be part of my relation, should be. Now, when I'm in the masjid or someone else, now if he has already a knowledge and he shows them back, now my ethical way, I must insist, keep telling him that this is bad, don't do like them. But in the same way, I need to tell him not to look, in an arrogance against them, that they are just bad people. No, let's make it in a wise way. They are saying bad words. We should not agree with them. Yalla Habibi, please, let's do your best. You can influence them, or at least don't do like them. But how come, Mama, they are in the masjid and they are praying? Okay, they are doing that. Well, what can I do? It's their problem. I mean, if we can't fix the problem with them, we will do. If not, at least be aware that this is wrong and this is not allowed in Islam. Please don't do like them. I don't care whether I'm Muslim or non-Muslims, my dear son. They are doing something bad. These words should not be used. It is out completely of any kind of ethics or. Now, with this way and insisting on that in a very nice way, plus I keep telling him and encouraging him when he says a good words that you are a good boy, mashallah, jazakallah khair, thank you for controlling yourself, and I push him to the level of thinking how to influence them, not just to say, oh, they are bad and khalas. No. I push him to move from the status of knowing the good and bad to the status of having mercy towards them, to the status of doing his best to change them, or at least not to let them say these bad words in the masjid. So by this, we will be hitting more than one bird with one stone. Wallahu alam, in a very short way.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Jazakallah khair wa afia.
Jazakumullah khair all for the great questions and the fantastic answers by Dr. Qourshah. Any more questions or comments at this point? Okay. There is a comment by Fatima to everyone. It says, I agree with him. I taught my son, who was born here and is 16, that cursing is not allowed. He never heard that in my home, and now when he plays video game and people say bad and words and cursing, I'm just trying to go through it here. I'm getting multiple texts at the same time. My apologies. Okay. Anyway, sorry that they were confusing texts. So I agree with him. It's that cursing is not allowed. He never heard that in my home, and now when he plays video games again and people say bad and curse words, he tells him please, he tells him, please don't do that, else my mom will disconnect me from playing.
Well, mashallah. Well, I greet you for this, sister. Jazakallah khair. This, yes. At least he is an influencer now, because this is wrong and this is haram. It's not just wrong; it's haram actually, haram, unallowed. So when they knew that it is as such, and they know why, with the justification, with the ethical justification, and we are Muslims and should be respecting, and this is a bad word. Subhanallah, khalas. He knows at the end. Now our job ends by doing our best to plant the seeds of what is right and what's wrong, and explaining the justification why it's bad and good and wrong and etc. We need to, from the very beginning. Then at the end, alhamdulillah, we have done our best. We keep let's say following them, trying to help them to establish this character. And maybe aware, most of the people in the science of the sociology, education, and psychology, there's like a great consensus that most of them, they say, the most important years of the life of a child to establish the core values, ethical values, any kind of values inside him, it's between 5, 6, 7. Most of them, they stop by 8, or between 7 and 8. So when we do our best from the year 1 up to 7 and 8, we are close friends to them. We show them love, respect, the law. I restrict myself. I'm a role model. I keep spreading love and giving the values, doing my best with a harmony, and all the time I'm giving them what we call the quality time with them. So I can do a lot. And this example is a great example of sister. Thank you for sharing this experience. Look how the video games are interesting and how they are amazingly, the person becomes crazy. He lost himself. Then immediately, he does not feel shy to tell them, don't use these cursing words, or otherwise my mother will stop the internet or the Wi-Fi. This is great. He has to know. It's like, look, around the world now. Why Chinese people, they manage to control the coronavirus? Simply because they use the authority, and they put the law, and they enforce the law, and they control it within weeks now. Look to the countries who simply did not care with the restrictions and the regulations and the teachings. Now they are losing their lives, such as, many other countries, including Spain and Italy, and in the United States, as you know, many people, they feel careless. And now Canada, we are following you in this. Now, sometimes when we have freedom completely outside, when you see someone just follow the law when you need it, you will be benefited. So when he knows that and he's convinced with that, he did not feel shy. He was not afraid from the peer pressure. Mama, so your mother has told you. No one dares, because he's proud of, because he knows, he believes, and it's out of discussion. It's finished. Don't curse, or otherwise I will stop playing with you. This is an excellent example that we can reach with them to that, Bismillah. Jazakallah khair.
Jazakumullah khair all for all the interjections. Any more questions tonight? Okay, I would like to turn it over to so we can make a few announcements for tonight, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. Jazakallah khair, Dr. Amjad, for a nice talk. We're sorry it's late. I know it's too late for you. You want to go to bed. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair.
But the
inshallah, and give you barakah, inshallah, in your time, inshallah, help you to be an excellent example for this great religion this time. I think, people of the globe, they need Muslims, wallahi. It's the time now.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Thank you very much.
Jazakallah khair. The important announcement for everybody is we're trying to find out the families and individuals who are in need in this time. We know some people lost their jobs, we know, but we can't get to them, and the masjid is closed. So there's no way they can come to the masjid, ask for assistance. So please, if you know somebody who needs help financially or by bringing them food or whatever, please, we want you to contact us on our website, on the masjid website. There's a zakah application. You can fill it out for them if you know for sure that there are people who are in need, because we know a lot of people have lost their jobs, and maybe till they get the unemployment is going to take some time. So so for these few weeks, we can, we have some zakah in the masjid, we can help them out, inshallah. And this is what zakah is for. So please, try us, and we have to act fast, because we know some people are suffering, but we don't know who, and we can't get to them unless you know them and you tell us where they are. So just go to our website, inshallah, and fill out the application, or you can reach out to me, to Sheikh Hamdi or Samir al-Jasri, to anybody in the board. I think that's the most important announcement. Jazakumullah khair.
Jazakallah khair, Dr.
Iyakum, ya.